stay connected to Spirit through prayer and meditation. As Liz said, through her meditation, she manifested, turned on that computer, and there was a job offer right there. It helps us stay connected, and we can stay in prayer not always for a specific good, just to stay connected with Source, just to breathe in and allow Spirit to flow through us. That's the gift of prayer and meditation too. We pray for things, and that's fine, but we can also pray that we are filled with peace, that we are connected to the source of all peace, the infinite Spirit of God. And E, envision, vision. Envision everyone on the planet as a member of your holy family. Not of your dysfunctional family, but of your holy family. We all have one. I don't know. There might be a couple of people that would say, oh no. Yeah. Well, we're creating our holy family. Okay? And I remember listening to an Abraham tape some time ago where Esther Hicks told of a time where she was packing everything into her suitcase, and it was very tight. She had to give a presentation, and Jerry was just standing there and annoying her and getting in her way, and she kept trying to fit everything into this suitcase, and she actually got very angry at Jerry, and he said to her, well, why don't you think of me as our granddaughter? The granddaughter is 4 years old, and Esther absolutely adored her. So she started to think of Jerry there as her granddaughter, and she's packing, squeezing things in, and she's thinking in her mind, oh, you precious one, I love you so much, how wonderful, you're trying to help Grandma, this is so beautiful. Nothing had changed except her perception of the situation. We can do this. We can do this. You know, over and over again, we can use these tools. It's just our thinking, it's our thoughts, it's our perception. 3, anchor your heart in love. And just as you saw in the illustration, as we anchor, in that illustration, we anchor our hearts in love, it's really very difficult to be out of peace. And this is such a profound topic that at the end of July, we're going to, I think it's the 4th week or maybe it's the 5th, but we're going to have a whole talk on anchoring our hearts in love, because that is such a profound, important topic for us to really go into depth about. C, create. Create reminders or rituals of living from this vibration of peace in your home. Rather than being on automatic reaction, as most of us are to things, we just automatically respond. And I have an example that what Thich Nhat Hanh does. Thich Nhat Hanh is a Vietnamese monk who was nominated for the Nobel Prize for his remarkable peace work. He's the author of Peace Every Step. I don't know how many of you are familiar with him. Yes? Okay. Well, he has a center in France. I believe it's called Plum Village. And the phone is never picked up if you call there on the first or the second ring, and probably not even the third ring sometimes, because the people there have been trained to breathe, take 2 breaths before they answer the phone, so that their full attention, that they are clear, and that they are at peace when they answer the phone. And they have a peace reminder that is part of this practice for every staff member. Before picking up that phone, they consciously do take those breaths, but they also have like a little card there, and we can do that too, a little card that tells us to just take 1 breath before we pick up the phone, just so we can be present, whoever's on the other line, to stay centered for that caller. And so taking that deep breath and then saying to yourself, before you pick up the phone. It's a really good, just a reminder to just staying in the flow of peace. There's many different ways to do this, but you can say to yourself, I am calm, poised, and at peace at all times. And take a breath and pick up the phone. And then you're in, at least you're in an altered, different state maybe than just running to the phone in the middle of something where it might have been disturbing you. So just take that breath and answer the phone. Another practice that Thich Nhat Hanh uses is the breath break. And I like this one because I really use a breath to center myself a lot because we forget to breathe deeply. And in that deep breath, we really do connect. We connect with spirit through the breath. Remember that. Through the mind, but through the breath also. So the breath break is breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. So just try that with me for a second. Just breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Make a smile. You know, do you ever do that? Every once in a while, I'll remember to do that. Just smile, like it's in a meditation, or just, you know, if I'm usually by myself, because otherwise, just look at you like. But it changes your whole dynamics. It changes your physiology. It changes everything when you just smile. You can change everything by that simple physiological movement of a smile. It's amazing, but taking that breath and smiling. Which leads us to our final idea, which is E, the end of peace. Enjoy. Enjoy each and every moment. Enjoy every moment and learn to connect with spirit. And many of us might have heard of Brother Lawrence from the 17th century. He was a French monk. Very simple, but very profound man. And his writings, this monk, his writings have influenced millions of people and inspired them. But very little is known about his life except that he entered the monastery after years spent as a foot soldier. And in the monastery, he described himself as a clumsy fellow who used to break everything. He was always knocking things over. And apparently, his superiors had agreed with this. Clumsy and seemingly untalented, he was exiled into the kitchen to do the pots and the pans. But Brother Lawrence did not regard this job as anything lowly or a distraction from his spiritual life, or as something to be finished quickly so then he could go and pray. Instead, he decided to use the washing and every other activity as an opportunity to remember God. And he constantly brought his mind back to that idea. What he was doing was actually practicing mindfulness. So as he was just doing any chore, he just connected with spirit, connected with God, connected with that divine intelligence. And after several years, the result of this practice of his became known all throughout this monastery, and the head abbot came to him for advice. And Brother Lawrence was able to make this remarkable statement. He said, "The time of busyness does not, with me, differ from the time of prayer. And in the noise and clutter of my kitchen, while several people are, all at the same time, calling for different things, I possess God in me as tranquility, as if I were on my knees at the Blessed Sacrament," which takes us all the way back to our first idea, which is prayer. We pray to simply experience God, that divinity that is within and that is everywhere, that great, great I am, and this tapestry of oneness that we all exist in. We, each one of us, have a powerful part in that. But turning inward and recognizing that is what gives us the clarity to know it. And again, Course in Miracles says, "You will not find peace except the peace of God. Accept this fact and save yourself the agony of yet more bitter disappointment, bleak despair, and a sense of icy hopelessness and doubt. Seek you no further to know that there is nothing else for you to find except the peace of God. So, my friends, the peace, that peace that I'm sure that we all wish to experience in our lives is between you and between God. It's between you and God. It's not between us and anyone else. Sometimes it looks like that in relationships, in circumstances, in conditions. It looks like if the other person would just like behave, then you could have peace in your life. But it's between your connection with God. I think it was in, I don't know if it was in Troward, Reverend Jessica, that we look outside. We look outside and think that that is the controlling part of our lives, when really it's the other way around. It's that indwelling self. That's where the peace is. That's where we connect and really build up a strength. And so if we want to experience the freedom that peace brings, then I would suggest that we do establish a practice of meditation, of prayer, of connecting with like-minded people, because there's only peace in this room. There's only peace here. That is all that's here in this room. And I'd like to close this talk with a short prayer from Ernest Tomes, and it's called The Majestic Calm.